What is up, guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're going to be taking a look at the weekly events in multiplayer, and I'm just going to show you their existence, really. A bit of a measure as to how you can earn some competition points, those being the things that you use as currency to buy cars, buy helmets, or not helmets, buy driver suits and whatever else tickles your fancy in terms of F1 2019 multiplayer customization. Now, in the future, I will do a dedicated video on the most efficient or the most effective way to, get the most points you possibly can in a short amount of time. But today we're just going to focus on this. You can get some big amount of, competition points out of it. If you get within like the top 5% or whatever it is, you'll get 1,500 competition points. Just simply for doing a 20-25% race. Plus, you've also got the practice programs over the course of the week, which will also earn you additional competition points. So we'll take a look at that at a later date. But today we're just going to simply focus on the event itself, which is the Monaco Grand Prix. So I saw this event happening. Unfortunately, I never did any qualifying or practice, so I never got the resource points earned for that earlier on in the weekend. So I'm jumping into this completely blind. It's a classic car event around Monaco, 25% race, and you essentially qualify to get your time. It's also like it's kind of like a iRacing event in a way, how they have like the big events. F1 2019 now has these for a Grand Prix weekend or on off weeks when nothing is happening. Something crazy like this at Monaco. So here we are in classic cars. Like I said, I didn't qualify, so I'm starting from the back in this race. So let's see what we can do in this race. 5 red lights and away we go for this Monaco Grand Prix. This is going to be a bit crazy because there's AI, there's a lot of aggressive online players as you would expect them to be, whether it be from ranked or unranked. F1 2019 online players tend to be a bit crazy, so I was just hoping to really survive this race and get a time on the leaderboard that would be within the top 5%. So let's see what we can do. We've got, some AI in here, and when you've got AI in your lobbies, I think they're turned down quite a lot to like 80 or maybe even less, so they're going to be getting in our way quite a lot, and the AI of the regular players, they're going to be aggressive as all hell, so it's going to be a recipe for absolute disaster in this race. There's no flashbacks, there's no nothing. This is online, and this is, you have to post the time to get high up on the leaderboard. So it's all based on your race finishing time. Oh my god, it's just carnage on this first lap. Turn 1 was horrendous, and now it just continues here on this opening lap of the Monaco Grand Prix. That's an illegal overtake on an AI car, so we had to let them go back through, so that was annoying. But we've got someone, Uko, absolutely storming off into the distance with this race. But we got people going off left, right and center. Damage is on, so it was imperative for me to make sure that I would keep my front wing, which we have managed to do so far in this race, and now we can get on with it and see if we can win this one and get ourselves higher up on the leaderboards. So let's see what we can do. We've got Kimi Rai setting the fastest lap. We've got 2 Red Bulls here going a bit crazy into the final corner. Fresh Avocado 3.
Mind that front wing. It'll need replacing if it takes too much damage.
Fresh Avocado 3, what have you done? I really appreciate that. I love getting shoved into the wall and having an orange front wing. That's a nice bit of karma there for you, Mr. Avocado. We have his compatriots in the Red Bull as well, dying at the end of lap 3, and now we're into the top 5, but with a damaged wing, so it's orange level of damage, and this is going to set us back by, I don't know, a second and a half per lap. If there's ever a place where you don't want front wing damage, it's this place, because you just rely on downforce so much around here, but somehow we set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, so the pace is pretty good. We might be able to come away with a podium still in this race. Consistency, above all else, is going to get me a good result in this race. And I know that, so there's no need to push like an absolutely crazy amount. So I'm just trying to recover as best I can. I'm debating whether I need to come into the pits and change my front wing. Unfortunately, because it's classic cars and there's technically no regulations for these, it means that there's technically no mandatory pit stops. So we go to the end of the race without the need for making a stop. So if we are going to make a change for a front wing, it's going to be even more costly than what it would be normally in a conventional race. So yeah, I guess for the time being, we're going to stay out on this orange front wing and see if we can get a podium, which is literally right in front of us. If we can get past this guy, we're on the podium, which would be quite honestly a dream result. But this guy in the Ferrari up ahead, I think it's a 2007 or 2008 Ferrari. It's a bit understeery through the corners, so we were able to make the most of it through the high-speed swimming pool chicane. We get up the inside, and he leaves us the space. Thankfully, we are into the podium now in this Monaco Grand Prix. It all just got a bit hectic there. A bit of a tank slapper on the exit of Portier. A big dive bomb on a lap car. It's all happening now in Monaco. But yeah, we've still got over half the race to go. We're negotiating now some lap cars, which are just getting in the way so much. Wasn't anticipating them to be so slow. But yeah, we're going to press on. See if we can catch the top two. Oh dear.
Your front wing is damaged. Expect a lot of understeer unless we replace it. A new strategy is available on the MFT.
Ah, no. I've got a red front wing. You know what? We can press on with an orange front wing, but we can't press on with a red one. So, that small mistake, it was brought on by the fact that the car was understeering a lot at high speed. So, we're getting a new front wing on. Best to change that as soon as possible and straight away, because then I'll get the benefit of having a faster car for the rest of the race. But the downside is that we're giving up the podium place and probably a few positions here to some slower cars, lap cars as well. So the likelihood of us losing our front wing again has just increased tenfold. But it is a long way into the race now. Let's just hope that everyone has kind of calmed down now and we can negotiate this civilly. Do this in a civilized manner. We go around the outside of Mooch there, who bottled it at the Rascasse corner. I don't know who, like, why would you do that? Why would you clip the inside part of Rascasse? Like, who does that? No one. That's what I'll say. Anyway, lap 12, we're slowly getting these positions back. This Uko guy isn't even in the race, and he's top 5. So, yep, you love to see that. Next guy up ahead is 13 seconds up the road, so we've got quite the mission on our hands to close him in. But now we have some clear air, and we're able to see what we can actually do with this car. We haven't had an opportunity yet with a normal car with some clear air to see what the pace is. 14.0 is our previous best. I would hazard a guess to say that we're about to smash this lap and probably dip into the 13s or the 12s. I would say across the line that is a 12.6, and I think beats the previous best lap record by like a second. So yeah, we've got some pace. It's just a shame that we got tangled up in other people's incidents over the course of the race. I really didn't help myself by not qualifying for this event, so I really can't complain. But anyway, we are making massive inroads on the guy in P3 once again. He seems to be a bit inconsistent. I feel like he made a mistake recently, which dropped him even more time and back into our clutches. But again, we're going to have to overtake him and do it in a not so conventional way, because this older Ferrari is quite a bit faster in a straight line. And, you know, in this kind of scenario, it's down to the guy in front to essentially leave you a bit of space, which I don't exactly trust anyone, to be honest, in these lobbies to leave space. So I'm playing it a bit cautious at the moment. 3 laps left to go in this race. And you can just see how much faster we are through the corners. It's absolutely outrageous. If we're lucky, we might be able to pull off around the outside into Casino Square. Just look at the pace difference. Around the outside, turns to the inside for the next right-hander. Had to be a bit bullish there with that move, but we got it done nonetheless, and we are onto the podium once again. And now we can chase after Sven. That better not be Sven Zerner in P2. Nah, if that's an esports driver, he'd be winning this race by an absolute mile. But anyway, we're pushing on as much as we can. We're going to see if we can set another fastest lap in this race. Tyre wear is absolutely non-existent. So there is absolutely no need for anyone to make a stop unless it is for a change of front wing. The gap is 17 seconds to the next car, which is really unfortunate. I really would have liked to have seen what could have happened if not for the damage and the mistake from myself to give myself red front wing damage. But we're on the last lap of the Grand Prix now by catching Sven by like 3-4 seconds a lap. It's quite ridiculous. Kimi Rai has won the race, so full congrats to him. Probably the only other car on circuit who had some good consistency apart from myself. So yeah, these races are all about consistency, the weekly events, and I'm not just talking about this one, but especially at a circuit like Monaco, absolutely imperative that you keep it together. Don't get too caught up in fighting other people within your race, because not only are you racing other people within this race, you're racing everyone else in the world to try and set the fastest time. This is a time trial, which happens to be a bit of a race as well. So we'll see what the damage is done with regards to the leaderboard, but I don't imagine it's going to be too good, given the fact that we're the best part of, 30 or 40 seconds away from the guy who won the bloody race. But there we go. That is Monaco, classic Monaco, in the F1 2019 weekly event. I had a feeling that there was going to be a lot of action, especially if I was going to start from the back of the grid. Oh, we got rank. I didn't move. Okay, so I must have got the perfect result in order for me not to move up or move down in rank. I didn't know rank was on the line in these kind of races. That's a bit scary. Imagine if I got wiped out at turn 1 and I lose 200 elo points. That would have been fantastic. But yeah, fastest lap of the race. I think that's probably the biggest thing I could take out of it, that I had as good a pace as anyone in this race. Just checking that it isn't Sven Zerner, the F1 Esports driver. It is not. But we come back to the main menu, and we're 33rd in the world with that absolutely appalling attempt. So if I come back and if I just start from the front, which I don't think will be possible at all, because qualifying closes before the weekend takes part. You have to do practice and qualifying through the week, and then you race on the weekend. So whatever attempt we do now, we'll be starting last. But anyway, with that result, we're still in the top 1%. So I think even from here, I don't think we're in any danger of losing the top echelon prize, which is 1,500 competition points. So I might just leave it there, to be honest. That is goal achieved. So yeah, if you guys want to earn a whole crap load of competition points, take part in the weekly events that are on the F1 2019 game. They're a nice addition, and I'll try and do as many of them as what I possibly can. And if you guys are enjoying these type of videos, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll do more of them. But going forward, I want to show you guys what the best possible method is to earn competition points. Of course, doing these helps, but I think also doing ranked races really does help. And coming back to them every single day, I think gives you some like bonus modifiers or something like that. But we'll do the math and we'll work it out in a future video. But that's it for me today. Thank you so much for watching. Until the next one, I'll see you next time.
Bye.